Hello everyone, my name is Rahul Moria, and today's session is on the voice gateway, like what type of gateway we have in voice infrastructure and what is the use, right? And basic understanding of the hardware informations, what it look like, right? How many ports are there, where we have to connect the voice links, right? And what type of analog gateways we have in voice world, and how we have to connect those voice gateways, that analog gateways, to our infrastructure, what type of connector we have, and basic understanding of the voice infrastructure. And I hope this session will be helpful for those who has work experience in voice domain for at least 3 4 years and have some experience on hands-on experience on voice gateways, and some of might be are aware of the things like where how we have to install the voice gateways in infrastructure. Like, I'm working remotely, right? And I am not having understanding of the voice devices. I mean the physical I'm devices, I'm not having the informations, right? Like how many ports it has, how many power supply it has. So this session is for those who generally work from remotely and not working on the same place where server are located or devices are placed, right? So this session will be helpful for them only. Yeah. Okay, let's begin the sessions, and let me know if you need any queries. You can mention in the comment box. Let's start the session. So this is the voice gateway, right? It looks like this. So for example, I have mentioned 39 series of router. On the top you can see that this is the front side of that, right? Or it's 29 series of router, right? It's both looks like same. You can see on the front that power supply, right? In the back side, uh, there are some ports where you have to connect the E1 or T1 circuits, right? And in the below you can see this is one of the gateway, that is 4300 of voice gateway, right? And this is the back side of that. Here you can see this is the console port, this is the USB port. USB port is required whenever you need to boot or update the firmware or the iOS version of this voice device, right? And the console is required whenever you need to initially configurations do the configuration of this voice gateway. So whenever you purchase the voice gateway, you have to do some basic setup so that this device comes into the LAN, right? So as a voice engineer, you might be having those information of the BGP setup, how you have to enable the port from the switch side. This is our router, right? And we are managing this device, but we need to connect this device to the network, and that configuration network your network team has to perform. Like in every organizations, you have set of I can say the boundaries, right? You have to touch only your devices. You don't have to make any changes or do any configuration on other devices. Other devices means network devices, right? So this is your device, right? And you have to configure it initial stage, like the IP address you have to assign this gateway, and the domain name, host name, or might be TechAx. If you need you are having information of that, then only you can configure that. Otherwise it's your network team responsibility to configure TechAx and BGP configurations on this gateway, right? And along with that, uh, the port configuration from the switch side, right? So that is your network team responsibility, and for you the initial responsibility is to assign the ports on the uh, IP address on this gateway. That is what you have to do with this console port, right? You have to connect this console port to your laptop and assign the IP address, right? And then you have to configure these are the two ports which you need to connect with the network, correct? And here you can also see the E1 T1 ports where you have to terminate the E1 or T1 circuits, right? And if you have more, your requirement is more, like you need more even and T1 circuits, then you can connect, you can remove these screws and insert the T1 or E1 cards over here, right? So what you have to do over here, just configure the basic of your router. If you need to update the iOS, you can do it from this USB port, and these are the network ports where, and the T1 E1 ports. Network ports is like you need to connect your device with the network, so you have to configure this port from your side, and network team has to configure the port on the switch side, and then you need to connect the cables from here to the network ports, right? And the T1 E1 circuit is like if you need to call any outside network, so you need to buy one T1 or E1 circuits from your service provider, and once they give the E1 T1 circuits, you need to connect on these ports, right? And in the front side of this you will see the power supply, right? So you must be aware of the things, that what are the devices and where it is placed, and what are the components inside that particular devices, right? uh, and this is your analog gateway, right? Analog gateways is used for your fax machine, right? So if it's a requirement of your organization that some teams are required to send or receive the fax, then you have to uh, purchase this fax, this voice gateway, that is analog voice gateway, right? So what it has, it you can see from here, oh sorry, you can see from here two ports that is connected to your network, and one port it is connected to your uh, console port, right? So network ports, as I said, that initial configuration you have to enable these ports, right? You have to assign the IP addresses, and the same way network team has to assign some IP address on their side on the network switch, and they have to enable BGP or whatever protocols is running on the network side, they have to configure that, right? And then this is a power button, correct? And this is the MFRL connector, and we have to connect this connector to this slot, right? And this connector is like it depends upon your hardware. In industry you can see VG224, 210, 310, 350, and 400 series are also there in the market, right? So it depends upon your requirement, what how many ports you need, analog ports you need. So this is having, I believe, 12, 12 ports, right? So once you connect this cable to over here, you will get the 12 uh, FXS line, right? Or the analog lines, right? So VG224 is the outdated one. Now these days we have VGs for XX, right? And it depends upon your requirement, how many ports you need in your environment. Might be some are having 12, 8, 24, right? 48. So that's what, it depends upon your requirement, how many ports you need. Accordingly you have to buy this voice gateways, that analog gateway, right? And some organization is also having FXO port, that is for the, for some places, sometimes you need to call out of band calling, so that time it's required, right? But I haven't seen anywhere as of now any organization is using FXO. Mainly they are using FXS ports for the analog purpose. Sorry, slides but change. So as per the definition, so voice gateways is a network device that connects voice network, and enabling communication between IP based system and traditional telephony, right? So what exactly voice gateways do is connects your two network, whether you have inside you have IP network, and outside you have PSTN network. Then you have to connect voice gateways to communication between IP to TDM circuits, right? And some sites or some locations, if we have SIP circuits from the service provider, in that case both the end we are having IP addresses, right? So so voice gateways is a device where we have to connect our voice circuits. You can understand like that. And the configuration is there, right? We have to configure the voice gateways, we have to configure the even T1 circuits and the SIP circuits. That I will cover in my another sessions, right? And the type of voice gateways is like FXO and FXS. Those are the analog gateways, right? And as I showed you earlier that mainly FXS is used for your fax line, and FXO is used for out of band calling purpose, right? And the other type of gateway is the digital gateway, where we need to terminate even T1 circuits, PRI or BRI connection, that is the PSTN circuits, right? And other one is the SIP or cube gateway. So cube is Cisco unified border element for the SIP trunking and the session border controller. So cube is the proprietary of the Cisco voice word, right? Otherwise we can have Oracle SBC to for the termination of the SIP circuits, or ribbon or audio codec. Those are the uh, voice gateways where we can terminate SIP circuits, right? So mainly three types of voice gateway, that is analog, digital and the SIP. And this is the usage server. This is the physical usage server, uh, uh, on which we have to install our call manager, right? You can see it is a front end of that. Here you can see the hard disk, right? And if in case some hard disk get failed, we can hot swap uh, that hard disk. That means we can remove it. We don't have to shut down our voice these things usage server. We can just remove it from the slot and insert the new one, right? Here you can see the power supply. We have two power supply. In so in case sometime in your operational world might be, you will observe that if any power supply get fail, you can just unscrew this and remove the full unit and insert the new power unit. So that's what in operation world you can see. I mean, different type of issues, like some fan is not working on the UCS server, or hard disk is failed, or power supply is not working. In that case you should be aware that UCS server is having these many components and where it is located, right? Also for the voice gateways, you should be aware of the PVDM module, right, where those are located. I will capture, or I will create the session on that, like where PVDM is located and how you can replace it in case of any issue, and I will let you know how you can check the status of the PVDM card in your infrastructure. Thank you. That's all for the today, but I hope you like these sessions, and I would like to you to subscribe this channel, and please like and make a comment. If you need any specific topic, I will cover it in my upcoming sessions. But yes, let me give you the brief of this. Like in in organizations, right? I mean, might be you have experience as like 3 or 4 year of experience, or maybe more, right? So sometimes it's your responsibility to check the device physically, right? You should be having all the informations where that device is placed, in which rack, and which uh, slot it is there, right? Because if some someday if you are not at the site and you have to guide some of the on-site engineer, might be L1 or L2 or anyone, right? So you can guide them that this is a device, it looks like that, and there should you must be having the serial number of that. You can guide them that this is a device and these are the power supply and these are the cables connected to those voice gateways or UCS server or analog gateways, right? So this information you should be having prior to any, I mean, as a proactive measurements. I mean, you can have those informations, right? And I mean, if you have this information, it's well and good, because you can troubleshoot very easily and quickly in the organizations and reduce the downtime of your environment, right? Thank you. Thanks. Once again, please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice time.